of memorable moments, y'all just had twins.
Yeah, that's right. I just had
hey, congratulations, man.
Thank you. You have kids? Oh, hello, wow. How
easy.
What are you doing, Sam? What are you doing? I didn't mean it like that. I just meant, hello, you have a kid, the child in the audience.
No, I think we were all, we knew what that was. But yeah.
Like, easy, Sam, I'm just messing with you.
So amazing. How's that changed your way of looking at acting and your career?
Well, yeah, I mean, I know it will. You know, it's just another part of, it's another major part of life that, you know, I wanted to experience. You know, I didn't want to go through life without having that experience. And I'm sure it's going to add a lot to me as a person, and hopefully I'll be able to, you know, bring that out, but for sure it will. And it's so sweet, you know, now I see, you know, one of the most immediate things is ooh. One of the most immediate things is like seeing other kids, little kids now. I'm like, wow, I'm gonna have that in a little bit. You know, they're gonna grow up to be that, and I'm kind of more drawn to them. You know.
Plus, when they get dating ages, you know, you can go, you know, I shapeshift. I'm just saying.
That's right. I don't know if my boys will be shapeshifters.
Oh, they're boys?
Yeah, they're 2 boys, yeah.
Oh,
so
okay.
I'm okay, I'm fine.
Yeah, you're good.
Yeah.
And the boys can say, you know, I shapeshift.
Yeah.
Just say.
They might. Shapeshift into each other, they're twins. You know? They're fraternal though. They're so different, totally. I had a question over here a little bit ago.
Okay, what kind of role do you hope to play in the future?
Well, gosh, I mean, I hope to do a lot of different things. It's funny, I was talking about, you know, where my heart is, but I'd love to do, you know, some kind of a comedy next, you know. I would like to do that, or a romantic comedy, you know, something that's very different than Sam Rolat, who's very, you know, the weight of the world is on his shoulders, and you know. But yeah, I think something, you know, a comedy would be great. I'll take anything, you know? I mean, if anybody's got a job out there.
Do you have a favorite romantic comedy? That's up over here.
Yes. Seems Like Old Times, I think is my favorite
Really?
romantic. Yeah, does anybody know that movie?
Wow.
Chevy Chase, Goldie Hawn.
Yeah.
Some of the older folks.
Who directed that, man?
Somebody really important. But
It's not Billy Wilder. Is it Neil Simon?
It was Neil Simon, yeah. It's awesome.
Not just for
Chevy Chase going after Goldie Hawn. I mean, it's great. It's so great.
I was going to ask you, you know, you express interest in or a desire to make a comedy. What modern comedy filmmakers do you like? Like, are you into Apatow or?
Yeah, Apatow. I mean, I love Will Ferrell. You know, of course. Gosh, God, I want to have a good answer to this because it's important to me. You know, there's certain people that I really respect, like Zach. Have you guys seen Between Two Ferns, all the Between Two Ferns, and on Funny or Die? If you haven't, go look at it. Zach Galifianakis doing this talk show where he insults people. It's great. But yeah, you know, Apatow. You know, listen. Bridesmaids was one of the best comedies I've seen in a couple years. So good.
The chocolate fondue scene, man.
Yeah. Kristen Wiig is a genius. I'm a huge fan of Kristen Wiig. I think she's so funny.
But you can't star in Bridesmaids.
No, I can't. I can't do that. I could do a little part though, maybe.
Bridegrooms.
Bridegrooms, exactly. Groomsmen.
Bam.
That's funny, does it? All right, we have another question over here.
You got everything. Are you gonna get zombies?
Oh, on the show?
Yeah.
Well, we kind of had zombies in season 2, where Marianne turned all those people into, you know, the crazy people. I'm sure we're gonna probably. I mean, I don't know, but we'll probably tap into a lot of different things. And I think we have some new creatures coming up next year. And you know, Charlene Harris's books are such a good starting point to jump off from, and she's created all this weird world and these weird people. There's a lot to draw from, and we're gonna have a lot of different stuff. Like, what about that woman who was with Andy Belfleur? That season, you know, you guys know what I'm talking about? What's up? up with that? Like, I'm in this, right now I'm a fan with you guys. Like, I want to know what's going on, because I have no idea. Like, what is up with that? That's weird. Hopefully there'll be a lot of more weird stuff. Sean, can you get over there?
Yeah, I'm on my way.
I think we're nearing our time, but yes.
Since you usually get to shift in one of the animals, and pretty much everyone else is either working with the wolves or something else during the time, what about the scene when Tommy turned into the gator in the back of the van? How close were you to that?
Dude, great question. Great question. I was so close. Okay, the first time we shot it, we used a fake alligator head, and part of, there's a snippet of that that's in there, of the fake alligator head, but they saw it edited back, and they're like, we can't do this. We need to get a real alligator. So I got called back in at the end of the season, and I remember they brought in, it was a coffin, and it was white. It seemed like it was too narrow for an alligator to be. It was like about that wide, like not very wide. And they brought it in, and I was like, damn, that's an alligator. Wow. So they put it in the van, and they had everybody step back and, clear the way and all this stuff. And they were trying to tie it, and you could hear it, like, banging the van, like, inside of the van. And I was like, dang, man, that thing is, pretty powerful. And they finally opened up the doors, and they had to coax it to come out, because it had to be close to the doors. And there was somebody doing that, and I looked at it, and I said, there's nothing holding that back from it coming. And they said, yeah, there is. There's a cable. I said, no, there's not. And they said, yeah, there is. And I never saw it. And I said, where is it? They said, it's right there. I was like, no, there's not. I said, yeah, there is. There is. So it's one of those things where I just finally said, okay, and walked off. But I literally had to, I had to go and open the thing, and that real alligator was this far away from me. And there was a cameraman right here too, so he was kind of close, but I was really close. And we wanted it to kind of jump at me, so I think they were prodding it and stuff. May have been sticking things in places that they shouldn't have been sticking. I don't know what was going on. I don't know what was happening in that van with the alligator. But it was pretty, to answer your question, it was pretty intense, because accidents happen, and that was a real alligator. I don't state the obvious, but just thinking back, that was a pretty intense one.
Okay, well, last question right here.
You mentioned earlier that you're kind of on the same page as the rest of us, being a fan of the show and wanting to know what's going on. Have you had your fanboy moment meeting a celebrity that you've always wanted to meet now?
Good question.
Yeah, you mean on the show?
On the show, or just any other celebrity that you've always admired?
Yeah, well, golly, no, David O'Hare, David O'Hare, right? Dennis, God, yeah, Denis O'Hare. I was a massive fan of his before he came on the show. Because everything I saw him in, he stole, Michael Clayton was a great movie, and he was like the best thing in Michael Clayton. That little scene where George Clooney was in that house, and he's so good. So I was a huge fan of his, absolutely, when he came on. And just coming to some of these conventions has been really cool for me. I was just in one recently where I met Gunnar Hansen, and that was pretty intense, to meet that guy, And then it turns out he and his wife are big fans of the show, and that's really fun when something like that happens.
That's awesome. And on that nice note, I think we have to wrap it up. Thank you, Sam, so much for that. What a treat. Please hang out for John and I when we talk to Mr. Brown City.